This is Hot Water Beach, and this is me embarrassing myself.
So it turns out the spot I've been digging wasn't even warm. It doesn't even get hot water.
I set out on an adventure to visit two of New Zealand's most famous and beautiful beaches. Both located on the Coromandel Peninsula, the Cathedral Cove and Hot Water Beach, only 10 minutes away from each other, are very popular beaches to visit amongst New Zealanders and tourists when we had them because of their unique qualities. Like the name suggests, Hot Water Beach is well known for its patch of thermal water bubbling just beneath the surface of the sand at low tide, with water reaching up to 64 degrees Celsius, where visitors can hire a shovel from a local shop nearby and dig their very own hot spa. Cathedral Cove, on the other hand, almost needing no explanation as to why it's so popular, is well known for its panoramic views of its cathedral-like rock formations. Visiting both these places have been on my to-do list for quite some time, so when I finally stopped listening to my excuses, I booked an Airbnb to stay at an amazing caravan. Check out my caravan tour video with link in the description below, drove 2 hours along windy roads and through the mountains, and set myself out on an adventure to explore both places. First up was Hot Water Beach. When I got there, I first had to find where I could rent a shovel, as I read on a website somewhere that you could rent this from a local shop nearby. The shop was right in front of the beach next to the parking lot, and for $10 I was able to rent a shovel for an entire day.
So it doesn't seem like there's too many people today because it's actually quite cloudy and it was raining even this morning. So maybe there won't be much people to steal a spot from. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the first time I'm here. I don't know if I'm supposed to walk where those people are or if I can just dig a hole here. But we'll just follow the crowd and see where it takes us.
I came here with very little research and thought I'll just wing it on the spot because I thought surely it's simple enough that all I need to do is find my own spot somewhere along the beach, dig a hole, and relax. But I was wrong. Because I didn't really know where to go, I did what everyone else would have done and followed where everyone was. And as soon as I got there were loads of people, more than what I expected, considering that there's currently no tourists in New Zealand. I was also surprised by how close people were from each other and thought to myself, I would like a bit of space, so I'm just gonna go at the very end where there were less people, find a spot somewhere, and start digging. I thought I found the perfect spot and started digging religiously. Obviously, I wanted to be at a spot where the water could come in but not completely destroy my spa. I started digging with no planning and kind of just looked at what other people were doing. It seemed like they were building a wall, so I did the exact same thing. I dug for about half an hour and it was pretty exhausting, but I thought I was making good progress, so I kept on digging and got a little proud of myself for finding such a good spot and seemingly digging a good hole.
This is so exhausting and I'm not even there yet. It started raining. Woo.
However, a couple walked past me, must have noticed what I was doing, i.e. making a fool out of myself, and asked, do I have hot water?
So it turns out the spot I've been digging wasn't even warm. It doesn't even get hot water.
As it turns out, and as I've said, there's actually only a few spots on the beach where there's hot sand that you could dig and make your own hot spa, and I obviously wasn't there. The couple pointed me to the area where the hot sand were, and this is obviously where everyone was and why it was so packed.
It's not even the right spot to dig hot water. Gotta move closer, apparently. Hopefully you'll get warm water here. Can't get warm water. This is actually cold water. So it turns out there's actually only certain spots that gets warm water, and this is not one of them. It's cold. It's around that area where it gets warm. Okay, so I just finished being at Hot Water Beach and it didn't actually turn out as I hoped. Because first, there were a lot of people, more than what I expected, but I should have known really, because it's very popular. And second, only actually certain spots at the beach gets hot water. So because I had no idea of this before I went there, I just started digging and digging for like half an hour, working my ass out, thinking that eventually I'll dig hot sand or the water will turn hot. I just didn't know until someone actually was kind enough to ask me and ask, do you have hot water there? He pointed me to where the hot water is, and I tried to go there, but obviously the spots were already taken, or the good spots at least. So I tried to find a couple of spots, but it was just impossible to actually dig a hole somewhere where I could get proper hot water underneath me. But it turns out that there is actually closer to the beach where the water is almost to your knees. The sand is actually really hot on certain spots, so it was quite cool to see some of the sand boiling, and I'm basically right next to it. And I even tried sitting down, but it was too hot to sit down, so I had to basically keep trumping my foot so that I could actually stand and feel where the hot water was. So that was really cool. But next time, I think if I go here again, I'll probably go, so you can only really go on low tide, because if it's high tide, you won't basically reach the spot where the hot sand is. And next time I'd probably go if low tide is sometime in the morning, like very early, where there's no people, because when I went there it was between 2 to 3 or 2:30 was low tide, and there was a lot of people even though the weather wasn't good, and it even rained a little bit. But it was really fun actually trying it out. I'll definitely recommend it to anyone who comes by Coromandel, but just keeping in mind that there will be a lot of people, and there's only very limited spots where you could actually be. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, had fun.